Mark Hamill, known for consistently pandering to the woke mob, is now under attack. This is the irony of the situation, and this is why I always tell people, don't pander to the woke mob, because one slight misstep and they are on your case. I mean, how can you trust people who will disown their own family members for who they vote for? People who cannot handle any ounce of disagreement whatsoever. You just don't cave to the woke mob. Let's go ahead and dive into this video because Mark Hamill is in some hot water here. Oh, by the way, y'all see that? It's here. I got it today. I am so excited. So thank you all so much. Everybody who has subscribed and shown me so much support and helped me reach over 100,000 subscribers on this channel. I am truly blessed and grateful. So thank you for that. But all right, let's go ahead and go back into the video. So Mark Hamill, this comes to us from Bounding Into Comics. Mark Hamill tries to appease angry leftists after liking a J.K. Rowling tweet. And speaking of not pandering to the woke mob, here's somebody who otherwise, J.K. Rowling, who mostly is pretty heckin' woke, to my knowledge, but because she has one stance that is a little bit different than them, because, you know, she wants women and children to be safe in restrooms and in contact sports and so on and so forth, then, yeah, they have ostracized her completely. So, Wrongthink. All right, so iconic Star Wars actor Mark Hamill got the sharp end of the horn a few days ago when he left a like on Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling's tweet, where she defended herself against a bizarre accusation from a biological male. Yeah, that is this tweet right here where India, whoever the heck this is, says, "I'm more of a woman than J.K. Rowling will ever be." And J.K. Rowling says, citation needed. Because, of course, anybody who is not living in clown world and is not in absolute denial knows that this is absolutely absurd for any biological male. Shouldn't even have to add biological in front of it, but I digress. For any male to say they are more woman than an actual woman is pure absurdity. And this is I'm telling you, whenever everyone was just, I think before a lot of trenders hit the space of honestly life or tried to insert themselves into the LGBT community and so on and so forth, because they wanted the immunity and social points that comes with that because this is where society has been. Because of that, it's those who actually suffer with gender dysphoria who are suffering the most, because then they have to be lumped in with people like this who are just making a mockery out of everything. And I have tried so hard to just be as accepting as possible, but things have gotten so insane because, I mean, here's the thing. I think a lot of us know at least one person who suffers from gender dysphoria, and while we can objectively hope and wish that they would accept themselves for how they were born, that's not always going to be the case, and they are doing what they're doing their thing as a grown adult, what they have the right to do. And we can still love them for that. And we can still sympathize with the fact that, hey, you know, that must be tough to be suffering from dysphoria. And so, yes, I do have friends who are transgender, and even people who aren't my friends who are transgender, I can sympathize with them for actually suffering through the dysphoria that they do. And I can be as kind as I possibly can, even though it's not a situation that I would necessarily approve of, but people don't need my approval now, do they? But the difference here is that when somebody who, whether or not they actually are suffering through dysphoria or are pretending and just want the social status of it, regardless of that, if a male or female is going after the opposite sex and saying, I'm more man than you, or I'm more woman than you, when they are not biologically so, or when they are trying to push us out, then yeah, we gotta stand up against this crap. You know what I mean? We just gotta stand up against it. And you can stand up against people who do crap like this and still be kind to others who are just trying to live their lives, whether you approve of it or not, because, you know, people don't have to live their lives in a way that we approve of, just like we don't have to live our lives in a way that other people approve of. That's just life. I think the common denominator here is we should have respect for one another, and that respect, though, is out the window if you abuse it and you give a reason not to be respected, as done in this case here. So anyway, let's continue. So the witty comeback was typical of Rowling, who always punches up in the never-ending battle against the transgender social mob. But it was Hamill himself who caught the most flack simply for showing support. So he liked this tweet, which, I mean, any reasonable person would see how ridiculous India here was with this statement. Even transgender people, okay? They can see this is lunacy, all right? And so he liked it. Now he's backpedaling because the mob has come after him, as they do. He says, what I liked about this exchange was someone speaking their truth to power. Of course, it's their truth. There's no such thing as our truth, your truth, my truth, his truth, hers truth, zer truth. There's no such thing. There is only truth. Period. There is truth or there isn't. Something is true or false. Our feelings do not change any of that. Twitter is unfortunately no place for nuance. It's imperative I make this abundantly clear. I support human rights for everyone, regardless of their gender identity, period. Well, duh, who doesn't support human rights for everyone, right? Part of human rights is taking care of people's safety too. You know, a woman's right to use a bathroom and not have to be in fear that a man is in there that will harm her, so on and so forth. Same with the safety of children. Part of human rights, isn't that the right for women's sports to be women's sports? And to not have to compete against men? What's the point in the different divisions then? So women can't compete in sports now? This is where we're at. The backlash grew at a geometric rate, which led to Mark Hamill trending on Twitter for all the wrong reasons. The actor stayed silent through most of the ordeal, but it wasn't long before he took to Twitter in an attempt to explain himself to the masses who had suddenly turned on him like Chancellor Valorum during the Naboo blockade crisis. It was contradictory and altogether unconvincing gesture that satisfied no one, relegating Hamill to the status of a cultural fence sitter. Hamill began his tweet saying, what I liked. Okay, we already read that. In one sentence, the actor tried to downplay the reasoning behind his like, while at the same time repeating an oft-used left-wing nostrum about subjective personal truth. The question should be asked as to whether Hamill also spoke about his own truth to power regarding the issue of the radical transgender movement. Dude, I am telling you, nothing has hurt the transgender community like the freaking transgender movement in recent years. It's similar to feminism. Look at how feminism has hurt women. All right. So, you know, when you look back and you think of times where women didn't have as many rights for certain things, okay, we needed a movement to help with that. You know, and with transgender people, I don't believe in dehumanizing them and treating them terribly because of their dysphoria. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that anybody should be forced to accept what's going on, but I do think that people shouldn't be mistreating people for that. Again, as long as they aren't hurting anybody, as long as they aren't or they aren't forcing people to have to accept them. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, they should be accepted as human beings, but should their dysphoria be accepted as reality? I don't think that should be forced on anybody. I just don't. And honestly, in my opinion, obviously I've never had true dysphoria, so I can't speak for them, but I wouldn't imagine that somebody actually suffering with dysphoria would want to force that on anybody anyway. I think people actually just suffering from this, they're trying to live their lives. They don't need the social points. They don't need all of the validation from everybody. I just think about my life in general. I don't need validation about my life. I don't need validation about my Christian faith. I don't need validation about my job. I don't need validation about anything that I do with my life. The only validation I need is from God. Like, that's it. And I don't expect people to agree with everything I say. I don't expect people to agree with every single one of my opinions or every single decision that I make, every single outfit that I wear, for example, because I wear gym clothes. Like, you know, some people think I'm being a slut for wearing this, you know, because I show a little ab. Okay. So, okay, that's fine. You can think that. That's whatever. You know what I mean? I don't let that dictate what I want to wear, you know? Like I said, we're just reached a point in society where people are seeking validation from everybody, and what has gotten so out of hand with it is you can't force validation. You can't force people to approve. You can't force approval, and you can't force validation. People are going to disapprove of every single one of us and how we live our lives in some way or another. That's fine. Some of my favorite people in the whole freaking world, I disapprove of some things they do or say or whatever. But that doesn't change the fact that I love and care about them. That's just reality. And whenever you go into this forced approval of stuff, and that's when you start running into absolute tyrants. And it's gotten ridiculous. Here's Mark Hamill and J.K. Rowling both, who have pandered to the woke mob time and time again. But because of one incident, because of liking a tweet, oh, he's done now. And she's already been done, even though she's doing just fine. But yeah, this is the people who are ingrained deeply in the woke mob or in the woke ideology. They are not your friends. Even if you think they're your friends, they're not. Because all it takes is one Twitter like, one Twitter follow, one minor nuanced opinion. That's all it takes for them to just cast you aside and be done with you. Now, that said, there are some people within the woke ideology movement who have kind of been brainwashed into it. And I think once they actually see how cruel it is, they get out. Because, dude, a lot of people to some capacity have fallen into it. I did for a brief time. And I cringe so hard when I look back at some of the stuff I was repeating that I saw, some of the woke ideology I was repeating and trying to make sense of in my head. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. But we all fall into some stupid things sometimes here and there, and we learn. And so I think the true test of, you know, that woke friend of yours, the true test of if they really are a friend or not, is going to be if they'll still stick with you if you have disagreements on stuff. And I do have some friends who are honestly pretty unbelievably woke who still stay my friends. So while I think the ideology, woke ideology is evil and satanic, honestly, I don't believe every single person within it understands that. And I don't think every single person within it are bad. So that's the thing too, is I see a hint of this from the converse side, right? where I will name something about liking a specific actor in something. Okay, like Jason Momoa. I love Jason Momoa as an actor. And even as a person, he just seems jolly all the time. And I follow him on Instagram, I believe. I can't remember if I unfollowed him or if I still follow him. But I think I still follow him because he's always just jolly. Always, he just has like a nice energy to him. And I enjoy that. And it's funny because anytime I'll like say something positive about him or liking a movie he was in or thinking he was good in it, there's always that one person at least who is like, but he's woke. But he's woke. Why do you like him? He's woke. And it's like, am I not allowed to like somebody who has a disagreement with me on stuff or who I don't align with, like on certain topics? I can still like somebody. I feel like going too extreme with it and expecting people to never be friend or never like some sort of celebrity or whatever just because of their politics or social ideologies, I think that's absurd. Here's Jason Momoa, who I like his acting and I like his social media posts for the most part because they're jolly and fun. This is not a guy I plan on, even if I did plan on, it's not a guy I actually will have any friendship or any close type relationship with to where he's going to influence me negatively. That's not gonna happen. So I don't see the problem here. But this is yeah, but this is especially, you see, like, while you see it a little bit on the other side too, which I do think is ridiculous. You see it mostly from the woke side, where they cannot even associate at any capacity with anybody with any ounce of nuance. It's just gotten absolutely insane. It's gotten tribal. It's gotten, woke ideology is a religion, and it's a false one at that. And I believe that it is I believe there are a lot of evil influences behind it spiritually. And I made a whole video on that, which I feel like I'm constantly doing a callback to that video. Woke ideology is satanic, but hey, just saying. I spent a lot of time formulating all that and just saying, because this is a topic that I constantly cover on this channel, is woke ideology and calling it out. And yeah, so I'm going to refer back to that video for people who are like, wait a minute, did she just say woke ideology is satanic? Why did she think that? Well, if you watch the video, you can see why I think that. All right, so anyway, there you have it for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I hope that Mark Hamill can, I don't know, wake up to the lunacy that is behind the woke ideology. And so he can hopefully, at least to some degree, separate himself from it and learn that trying to appease people who are deeply a part of that movement and who are cruel and forceful with their ideologies, they will never, ever, ever be your friends. And I hope that he can learn that so that he can actually have real friends in his circle. I've learned this the hard way. And yeah. And so people will show their true colors. And the woke ideology and movement absolutely has. But thank you again so much for watching. And also thank you again for helping me reach over 100,000 YouTube subs. I'm at 111,000 last I checked. 111th birthday. I am just on cloud nine right now after getting that. I don't know why, because I've been over 100,000 followers for a little bit now here and just hit 111,000. And it's been super exciting, but there's something about getting the plaque that just made it so real. So I'm very stoked about it. So thank you all again so much. I will see you guys next time. And in the meantime, go boom.